A 1,000-year-old river had dried, leaving a vast desert. In the middle of this harsh land, there was a dangerous prison where hundreds of inmates were held, not forcibly, yet none could escape. Every day, they dug holes under the scorching sun. What secret did this prison hide? Meanwhile, a boy named Stanley walks down a street when a pair of shoes fall from above. They belonged to a famous baseball player and were stolen during a charity match. Mistakenly, Stanley is arrested and taken to court. Given his age, the judge offers him a choice: jail or an 18-month stay at Green Lake Camp, where prisoners aren't locked in cells but must work in the desert. Stanley chooses the camp. On the bus ride, he fears being far from his family. Across the desert, hundreds of holes are already dug. He sees a man on horseback vanish mysteriously, perhaps a trick of the mind. Eventually, he arrives at the camp, a small prison, where he meets the warden's assistant, Mr. Sir, and the camp rules are explained. Stanley learns that, despite the lack of walls or bars, no prisoner dares to leave. He is given clothes, shoes, and a pickaxe. Each day, he must dig a 5-foot-deep hole under the blazing sun, a grueling punishment designed to break the body and mind. Stanley soon realizes the desert hides poisonous snakes and dangerous creatures. Fear grips him, but he sees that survival here requires endurance, caution, and acceptance of the harsh rules. Stanley is introduced to the harsh realities of Camp Green Lake. He meets other boys, each with colorful nicknames: X-Ray, Armpit, Zero, and Magnet. Each boy has a distinct personality. Some are clever, some are quiet, and all are shaped by the brutal environment. Life in the camp is grueling. Every day begins before sunrise, and the boys dig 5-foot-deep, perfectly square holes in the blistering sun. No one knows why, but any complaint or mistake draws punishment. Stanley struggles with the physical demands. His hands blister, his body aches, and exhaustion threatens to overwhelm him. Mr. Sir, the warden's enforcer, is harsh and unpredictable. One incident with stolen water ends in humiliation, teaching Stanley that survival here requires obedience, cunning, and careful observation. Despite the harsh conditions, bonds begin to form. X-Ray shows Stanley tricks to make digging easier, and even Zero, initially silent and withdrawn, demonstrates surprising determination and resilience. The boys start exchanging stories, and whispers about the warden's mysterious obsessions circulate. Rumors hint that the digging is not just punishment, but might be connected to a secret treasure or hidden truth. Stanley begins to question the purpose behind the endless holes. Could they hide something valuable, or are they a test of endurance and spirit? Each day in the scorching desert, with relentless labor and the warden's watchful eyes, challenges the boys' courage, patience, and intelligence. Small victories and growing friendships help them survive, even as the camp's mysteries deepen. Stanley continues to adjust to life at Camp Green Lake, learning both the harsh rules and the subtle ways to survive. He notices patterns among the boys and begins understanding the social hierarchy. X-Ray seeks attention from the warden, Armpit is quietly clever, and Zero, though quiet, shows unusual intelligence. The dynamics of friendship, rivalry, and survival unfold under the unforgiving sun. Each day, digging deep holes tests not only their bodies but their spirits. Stanley realizes the repetitive labor is designed to break them mentally. The warden's presence is always felt, often silent, always watching. Mr. Pendansky, who pretends to be supportive, reveals a patronizing attitude, emphasizing that only strong or smart boys will endure. The boys slowly adapt by discovering small tricks to make digging easier, sharing water, and strategizing to avoid punishment. Stanley also begins noticing peculiar details about the warden: her obsession with certain spots of the desert, her unusual interest in specific boys' digging patterns, and the presence of strange objects hidden in the camp. Whispers about a treasure or secret buried somewhere grow louder, igniting curiosity and cautious hope among the boys. Amid exhaustion and the harsh climate, Stanley forms deeper connections, especially with Zero. Their friendship is built on mutual respect, quiet understanding, and shared struggle. Together, they discover that survival in Camp Green Lake is about more than physical strength. It requires patience, observation, and courage. With every scoop of sand, Stanley begins to piece together the mystery, sensing that the camp's hardships conceal a greater truth. The daily toil, the warden's secrets, and the boys' resilience all point toward a journey that is as much about discovery as it is about endurance. The tension at Camp Green Lake grows as the boys continue their exhausting work. Stanley notices that some of the older boys exploit the younger ones, using rules and intimidation to assert dominance. Yet, beneath the harshness, small alliances form. Stanley's cautious friendship with Zero strengthens as they learn to rely on each other. Zero, silent but sharp, starts showing glimpses of his intelligence through small acts, memorizing details, observing patterns, and silently helping Stanley when needed. The warden's behavior remains mysterious and threatening. Her sudden appearances and strict inspections keep the boys uneasy. Stanley becomes increasingly aware that there's more to the camp than just punishment. The boys whisper about hidden treasures, the warden's obsession, and the secrets buried under the scorching desert. Every dig, every hole, and every careful observation might be connected to a bigger purpose. Despite the oppressive heat and physical exhaustion, Stanley finds a rhythm in the routine. He learns to endure the pain, adjust his pace, and focus on the details around him. The camaraderie among the boys is subtle. Sharing water, tips, and small encouragements become survival tactics. Each day brings new challenges, testing not only their strength but their resilience and wit. As Stanley digs deeper into the camp's secrets, he starts piecing together clues about the warden, the treasure, and Zero's past. The harsh lessons at Camp Green Lake teach him that survival isn't only about physical endurance, it's about understanding people, recognizing patterns, and holding on to hope even in the bleakest conditions. The challenges at Camp Green Lake intensify as the boys' work continues under the scorching sun. Stanley notices that some boys are pushed to their limits, physically and mentally, while others adapt, finding ways to conserve energy and manage the harsh routine. He observes the dynamics carefully, learning who to trust and how to navigate the power struggles among the boys. Zero continues to surprise Stanley. His quiet intelligence becomes more apparent, especially in subtle problem-solving moments. Stanley begins to teach him reading and writing in secret, forming a bond that provides them both comfort and hope. Their small victories, like learning a new word or successfully digging a tricky spot, are celebrated quietly, giving them a sense of achievement amid the relentless work. The warden's obsession with her hidden goals becomes clearer. Rumors among the boys about a secret treasure grow, making each day's labor feel heavier yet more purposeful. Stanley starts noticing patterns in the digging, small hints that something valuable is being protected beneath the dry earth. Every rule, every punishment, and every oversight seems to tie back to the warden's mysterious motives. Despite the harsh conditions, camaraderie slowly grows among certain boys. Sharing water, offering encouragement, and quietly supporting each other becomes essential to endure the daily grind. Stanley realizes that survival at Camp Green Lake requires more than physical strength. It demands intelligence, observation, and the ability to read people. With each passing day, Stanley and Zero grow stronger, both in skill and in trust, slowly uncovering the hidden truths of the camp and preparing for challenges that go beyond digging holes. As the days at Camp Green Lake progress, the tension among the boys rises. The heat remains relentless, making even small tasks exhausting, but Stanley and Zero find a rhythm. Their secret lessons continue, strengthening their friendship and giving them a sense of purpose amid the grueling labor. Each small success becomes a triumph, reinforcing their resilience and determination. Stanley starts noticing subtle changes in the behavior of the other boys. Some grow impatient and reckless, driven by frustration, while others quietly endure, finding ways to cope with the monotony and harsh discipline. Observing these dynamics helps Stanley understand how to navigate the camp, avoiding conflicts and identifying potential allies. The warden's presence looms over every activity. Her obsession with control and the mysterious treasure beneath the dried lake bed becomes increasingly apparent. Stanley begins piecing together hints, realizing that the digging is part of a larger, secretive plan. Every instruction, punishment, and inspection seems tied to her hidden motives, adding a layer of suspense and urgency to their work. Despite the harsh conditions, moments of solidarity emerge. Stanley and Zero rely on each other, sharing knowledge, resources, and encouragement. Their bond becomes a source of strength, allowing them to persevere when others falter. As the boys dig deeper, Stanley senses that the camp holds more than just physical challenges. Hidden secrets, tests of character, and the promise of discovery await those who can endure. The combination of skill, intelligence, and trust between Stanley and Zero positions them to face the obstacles ahead, shaping their journey toward uncovering the camp's deepest mysteries. The final days at Camp Green Lake test Stanley and Zero more than ever. The heat is relentless, and the warden's scrutiny intensifies, but the boys' friendship has grown into a source of strength. Each day, their determination pushes them forward, giving meaning to the endless labor of digging holes in the dried lake bed. Zero's courage and intelligence begin to shine. With Stanley's support, he starts taking small steps toward independence, revealing hidden skills that help them both survive. Together, they navigate the camp's harsh rules, learning to anticipate the warden's unpredictable behavior and avoid trouble with the other boys. As they dig, Stanley pieces together the warden's secret. The clues point toward a hidden treasure, and the realization fuels a renewed sense of hope. Every stroke of the shovel becomes part of a larger purpose, transforming the grueling work into a mission they can believe in. Amid danger, exhaustion, and uncertainty, moments of triumph emerge. Stanley and Zero's bond deepens, built on trust, loyalty, and shared struggle. Their perseverance highlights the importance of friendship, resilience, and intelligence in overcoming challenges that seem insurmountable. Finally, the boys confront the mysteries of the camp. The warden's obsession, the hidden treasure, and the lessons learned along the way converge, revealing truths about courage, justice, and the rewards of determination. In the end, it is not just the treasure they uncover but the strength within themselves and the power of friendship that defines their journey.